See you. Well, good morning. It's great to see you, and welcome back to the Old Man's Workbench, where recently we completed a project where we made this Adirondack chair using fence pickets that we picked up at the local big box store for, I think, $1.25 a piece. All in, maybe $10 or $12 worth of material. And we made them using these tools. Some common tools that most people have, or if they don't have them, they can, pick them up for minimal cost. Although I do have to say that in our case, we did use this stationary planer, which is a tool that not everybody has, but you don't have to use this tool. You can buy finished lumber for a little bit more, maybe $1 a board foot at that same big box store, and you won't have to worry about planing it. And the point of this project was to demonstrate that anybody with a few common tools like this and a little bit of basic know-how over the course of a few days, maybe a weekend, could put together an Adirondack chair as a fun project and a cost-effective alternative to going out and buying one at a big box store. Because nobody buys just one Adirondack chair. They're made for social gatherings, so you're going to need 2 or 4, and pretty soon that starts adding up. Which is why we actually built 2. This is the second one that I made, using the same templates and the same process. And today we're going to paint them. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take one apart and we're going to paint the pieces and then reassemble it using this one as a guide, because I did get some feedback from that prior video that some of the assembly process wasn't real clear. So I'm going to slow down as we put these together and really show you how one of these chairs comes together, so that if that's something that interests you, you can do it too. So let's get going on that. So to begin with, we're going to just start taking this chair apart in the reverse order that we put it together in. All right, so there we have it. I'm going to leave these cleats on these legs here. I'm not going to take those off. We're just going to paint them with those on. But we're all set and ready to go with the painting, so let's get going with that. All right, we've got some pieces laid out here, ready to paint. We're going to use a can of this primer here. I've got an airless sprayer, but I want to demonstrate that you can do this with basic materials off the shelf. One of the things that's probably most annoying about these things is the fact that you got to shake them up forever. So I've come up with this. I didn't think this up myself. I saw this online somewhere. Saw a guy do that with a Sawzall. I don't have a Sawzall, so I use my scroll saw. I think it worked out just fine. Here we go. I'm just going to put a light coat on here to start with. One of the things this will do as well is it'll help raise the grain of the wood, and we'll give it a light sanding after we're done. We want to be careful that we don't put so much on that we start dripping things. That becomes a little bit of a mess. We can let this dry a little bit and come back and put another coat on. We'll flip things over. That should be good for right now. We'll let that dry, and we'll come back and put another coat on, and we'll flip things over and do the same thing. So we're sanding down each of these pieces just lightly, just giving it a light buffing. And I don't know if you can see that in this light, but a lot of those fibers are raised. And so when we sand them down, just lightly, not trying to get rid of the wood or get rid of the paint, but just sanding it down lightly, you can see that that takes care of that raised grain. And then when we're finished sanding, we'll wipe all these pieces with a damp cloth, and then we'll give it another coat of primer, just a light one. And then we'll be ready for the finish coat. Okay, now that everything's been sanded down once, we're just wiping this down with a damp cloth to get any of the paint dust off of here. So now we're just going to put a real light second coat of this primer on. Just want to put a light coat on. This will dry in no time. All right, well, here we go with the top coat. Gloss Protective Enamel. We want it a little shiny at the end of the day. All right, well, we've got all the paint on, and now it's time to reassemble this. This shouldn't take too long. Everything's been pre-cut, pre-drilled, and all we have to do is kind of remember how we put it together. So we're going to start with these two base pieces like we did before, and then go from there. So what we've got here is one of the base pieces, or the legs, and they go kind of like this. And we're going to keep this chair as kind of a reference. It's these two pieces right here. I kind of had them backwards. This one goes here because of the way that it is. All right, we've got those assembled, and now we're just going to use these clamps to help them stand up while we attach a couple of cross pieces. First cross piece is going to be this piece right here, just one of the seat slats. All right, we've got this back brace on. That's this piece down here, and it's just in place to add some stability, you know, side to side on the chair. But it also, at this point, helps us stand upright. We don't need these clamps anymore. Next, we add the back brace. That's this piece right here. And now we're going to add these support pieces on the outside of each upright leg. So they're going to go something like this and like this. Actually, they're going to go up top here like that. Since these are pre-drilled, I like to stick the screws through a little bit and then just sort of fit them into the old holes. That way I know they're exactly the way it was put together originally. All right, now we can put the arms on. Same deal, I just kind of fit them into the hole. If you can see that or not, right there. That way I know they're in the same place they were before. And now we're going to attach this back piece right here. So we're going to get a couple of carriage bolts and put them in loosely. We don't tighten them up real tight until we get the whole chair done and we make sure it's all square. Put these in just like this. That might need a little persuading. That piece that we just did, by the way, is this back piece here. So now we're going to put these slats on. Okay, we're going to start with the outside on both sides. And remember what I said about just kind of sticking that screw in and making sure that it fits in that hole. That looks just about right. All right, well, let's be honest, who caught the mistake? Taking a look at this. That's right. I had this piece on top of the arms, so I had to flip them upside down. I was having a hard time after these first two slats getting everything to line up, and I couldn't figure out why. And then, you know, it's a good thing that I used this as a reference, because I turned around and looked at this and saw that this cross piece is actually under the arms instead of on top of it, and that changes everything in terms of how everything fits together. So congrats to you if you saw that. I didn't catch it until everything just didn't fit. Eventually we got there, so let's get back to work and get going on the rest of this. It shouldn't take too much longer. There, that doesn't look too terribly bad. So this piece here is the same as this piece here. It goes up in front of the seat, and obviously we waited until these back slats were on because this is going to cover those screws up. So we needed access to those screws. Now we're ready to put that in. Then we'll put the rest of the seat slats in place. And then finally we've got one more bracket that goes up there, and we should be done. So let's get to it. So we want to make sure that the front edge of this is flush with the front edge of this front piece here. And after that, we'll just space them, I don't want to say randomly, but we'll space them just sort of eyeballing them in terms of the space between them. All right, that does it for the seat slats. Let's put that last bracket on, and then we'll make sure that it's all square. Well, that's not too bad. We've got it all squared away. We're going to tighten up the carriage bolts. We'll give it one final coat of spray paint and call her good. And then we got to work on that one, but that's not going to be part of this video. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Old Man's Workbench. Appreciate you guys sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed this little project. I think it was a lot of fun. And if you take anything away from this, just understand that this is a project that, again, anybody with some basic tools and a little bit of know-how and some patience can put together probably over a weekend. As you can see, I don't have a fancy shop. This is a corner of my garage that I've carved out to work in. It's not a dedicated space that is pristine by any stretch of the imagination. And so if I can do it, I think anybody can do it. We appreciate you stopping by and visiting. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Give us a thumbs up. And by all means, take a second to subscribe. That would really help the channel. Listen, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.